Hey, this is Knox with AvantAlpine.com here with another in-depth ski overview, and today we're talking about the Candide Pro series from Faction skis. Hey guys, welcome back. We got a real heavy hitter for you today that we're checking out. This is the flagship lineup of skis from Faction, the ski that really put them on the map. This is the Candide Pro Model ski. Named for Candide Tovex, the biggest name on Faction's Pro lineup. What you've got here is just a super awesome lineup of all-mountain freestyle skis. By which I mean every ski in this lineup is a fully upturned tail, nearly symmetrical side cut, twin tip, essentially park ski. This is just a really great ski for working on those skills in the park and then taking those freestyle abilities literally everywhere else in the mountain in all kinds of snow conditions. In terms of the widths that are available, you've got a ski that's pretty much ready for anything, depending on what kind of snow you're going to be encountering when you're out there on the hill. All right, so jumping right into core construction and flex, because it's kind of a windy day, we want to run through this as quick as we can. Basically, all of these skis are set up for the maximum level of sort of accessibility and fun factor. They're all going to drive really well at speed with probably minimal chatter for a ski of this type. But they're still going to be soft enough, and you know they're kind of that medium variable flex, very natural, predictable flex pattern in general. Maybe a little bit softer from the tip and tail onward, but not so soft that it's like weird or anything, like it's going to dive or act funky in a turn. And the way that Faction accomplishes this is by using pretty much strictly a wood core in every single one of these skis. In the 1 and the 2, you've got a poplar beech hybrid construction, which is a little bit burlier kind of laminate, so that the ski with less material in it, like the 1 and the 2, which because they're narrower, they have less material than the 3 and the 4. You want that a little bit snappier core composition to give you the pop that you want for a freestyle twin tip ski like this. But then moving up to the 3 and the 4, these are both balsa flax hybrid cores. What that does is, as you go up into a ski that has more material in it, just because it's wider and uses more wood, that's a little bit lighter wood that's gonna keep the flex pattern manageable and in that sort of playful range without adding too much weight. So you're still gonna get a bit more material and the same sort of durability and beat up ability that you expect from Faction skis, which are very high quality, among the best in the market in terms of durability. But you get a little bit lighter overall package going up into that larger material format. On the top layer of construction above the wood core on each one of these skis, you've got a binding plate running essentially from here to here, and what that's going to give you is just a little bit of extra bite for the screws in your binding to mount into the wood and not rip out once they've been mounted and set up properly. On the 1 and the 2, in order to keep weight down with that slightly more dense wood core like we were saying, they use a carbon mounting plate, and then on the 3 and the 4 it's a titanol mounting plate, which is a type of metal, it's a metal alloy. In both cases, it's going to give you a little bit more rigidity underfoot, and you can kind of feel that, especially through the middle portion of the ski, not in the tip and tail, but in the middle portion. You can feel it a little bit, and just lend to the overall snappiness and poppiness of what is just a really capable general all-mountain freestyle ski. So, for the most part, wood throughout on all of them, and then a little bit of something directly underneath your foot on all 4 models. Moving on to side cut shape and turning radius, all 4 of the skis in this lineup are set up to be medium to long turning skis, which is fairly consistent with what you'll see in the case of the 4.0, a traditional all-mountain freestyle powder board, and then all the rest of them, that's typically what you see from a park ski these days. You got a 17-meter turning radius at around the 180-centimeter length mark on the 1.0, and then moving up to a 23-meter radius on the 4.0, and then you got the 2 and 3 somewhere in between. So this is a ski that is set up to want to do really long arcing turns, but as we'll talk about in a second, because of the way the camber is set up and because of the way the tip and tail rocker shape works, they will throw a hard and fast turn very easily and very quickly whenever you want. But in general, they're most comfortable with a long arcing shape turn, so if that's kind of what you dig and what you're into in terms of your everyday skiing, just being out in the groomers or in the park or whatever and laying down a really long, fast turn, this is a great ski for that. Turning the ski sideways, you can start to see a little bit of what's going on in terms of the camber and rocker situation, and I'll put these two together so you can see it a little bit better. As you can tell, you've got a considerable amount of nose rocker that starts without any weight on it, starts about here and flares to the tip. It's the same situation in the tail. Maybe starts a little bit further back, but not much further back. You've got a lot of rocker in both sides. In the middle, hopefully you can see this, there is a very gradual amount of traditional camber directly underfoot with no weight on the ski. And as soon as you put a little weight on, it engages the rocker on both ends, but really there's not much camber. We've found that not to be an issue whatsoever when skiing this ski over the last few years. It has just enough camber to set the edge hold you need, especially in faster turns and really aggressive skiing. Just that little bit is enough. And then just by way of comparison, moving over to the 1.0, you can see it's a pretty similar situation, although maybe a little bit exaggerated. The 1.0 has a little bit more traditional camber underfoot because it's meant to be used on firmer snow, and that's really going to help on harder conditions and like groomer park days, etc. It's not a ton of camber, it's just going to give you a little bit of that extra bite that you need and pop that you need when you're using this for jumps and rails and that kind of thing. But in general, we're talking about just about the same shape between the 1.0 and the 3.0, and as you move up the line, it kind of blends into what you saw with the 4.0. So gradually less camber going up from one model to the next to the next. Alright, so moving on finally to the available widths in this ski. All the way to my right, you've got the 1.0, the 2.0, the 3.0, and then the 4.0. Like we've kind of been saying, this is essentially the same ski all the way through the line. You've just got different width options at each stop. So at the 1, you've got a 90mm waist. That's basically your dedicated park ski. Probably wouldn't use that for much else other than skiing groomers on a really firm day or ski in park. The 2.0, which is my favorite, I've owned this ski a couple times. I think it's the most versatile of the bunch. It's a 102mm waisted ski. Excellent park ski and just general all-mountain freestyle ski. I'm on a ski like that, or that exact ski, probably 80% of my days out skiing. Moving up, you've got the 3.0, which is 108. You're starting to get into that hybrid powder all-mountain area. And then the 4.0 is your dedicated powder board. Real quick, just touching on the 3.0, they have this thing in a really wide range of sizes right now, and it goes all the way down to 162 centimeter length and all the way up to a 204 centimeter length. So if you're a smaller skier, that might be a great dedicated powder skier for you in the 162. And if you're an NBA shooting guard, the 204 might be a fantastic, just general all-mountain cruiser. Overall, at the end of the day though, what we're talking about here is the series of skis that really put Faction on the map, especially for people who like to ski the way I do. I grew up skiing a whole lot of park. I don't ski that much anymore, but I still kind of have that sort of style about my skiing. I like a ski that I can take pretty much anywhere in the resort and be able to do whatever I want on it and not be in over my head. This thing is matched pretty much perfectly to my own skiing style. I'm not a huge believer in the idea that there's like one perfect ski out there that's great for everything. I just like to have options, and I like to be able to dial my ski selection or my ski choice to the conditions a little bit better. However, I do believe that for most people, myself included, you can put two skis together and have two options that'll cover almost all your bases. And for me, I could put the 2.0 and the 4.0 together, and that would cover me for 95% of my days, maybe every day of the season. The 2.0, I could be on something like that almost every day, and then the 4.0 as a dedicated powder ski would be more than capable for me all the time and with my skiing style. So really the bottom line is if you're into more of like a freestyle type of skiing style, there's something in this lineup for you. And really if you put two skis together in here, like for me the 2.0 and the 4.0, you could easily have two skis that just do it all for you. It's a fantastic lineup of skis. That is without a doubt. So that about does it for us today with the Faction Candide Pro Model series. We will have 3 or 4 versions of this ski in different sizes on our demo tour this year. So if you'll go to our site and check out our tour calendar, you can see where we'll be so that you can come check out the ski and try it for yourself. If you can't meet us on any of our calendar days, we're typically in Central Colorado, and we do private bookings, so just drop us a line on our Facebook or through one of our contact points on our contact page, and we'd be happy to try to meet up with you and get you on a pair of these demos. But as always, we hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful, and if so, please check back real soon for even more content. Thanks for watching.